Foam rolling your low back may feel good at the time, but it could be causing some pain later on. Ooh.
That's right. Most people are doing this wrong, and it's putting extra stress on that low back, and we don't want that.
No, so today we're going to show you some safe ways to foam roll your back and give you lots of options.
So what we decided to do was go back about 6 years. Bob and I did a video explaining the details of how not to foam roll, particularly your low back, yes, the lumbar spine. But to do this, we need to get back into our high-tech TARDIS, which will go back 6 years in about 0.7 seconds. We're going to go into time warp.
While you calibrate that, I want to let the viewers know, if you can't get to the ground and foam roll, we do have some options when we come back that you don't need the ground for. Anyway.
Oh, yeah, check. We're all clear, ready. 4, 2, 1, go! Whoa! We're going to make it.
Bob and Brad, the two most famous physical therapists on the internet.
Wow, Bob.
Okay, all right, let's go. Today we're going to talk about, I'm going to show the foam rolling that you want to try if you have back pain, and the one you don't want to do. The first one that you don't want to do, let's start with that. You don't want to foam roll right over your low back. The reason for that is, Brad, can you hold this?
Yep.
So if I take a spine here, and here's the low back, you just put it across like that. Yeah, like this. You're really jamming. There's a lot of little joints there. You're jamming them all together.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not going to feel comfortable. It's just not going to be good for the back either.
It's a little aggressive. Because when you go up to your mid back, you also have the rib cage supporting the spine, which makes a big difference.
And also the rib cage. I mean, when we go up to the mid back, which we're going to say you can go ahead and do.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want the low back. You can do the mid back, is because a lot of people start getting rounded out here.
Yes.
So we're trying to stretch that out and get back into the right position. So why don't we start off with that one first, Brad? Let's do the mid back one.
All right.
You're going to go that angle. I'm going to go this angle.
Sure.
I'll start from this side here. Great one to do. It's probably one of the best foam rolling exercises you can do is the mid back. Just get it in place. And I did this morning. I'll do it again right now.
Oh, this
very simple to do. You see, I lift my butt up and I'm using my legs to, roll me back and forth. Very simple to do. Brad, you tend to go a little bit further up on the neck, I think, than I do.
It feels good up there, Bob.
Yeah.
I just really like going. And if my mic set wasn't in the way, I'd go even a little bit further. But, my God, I just looked up and Sam was looking at me with the hat and scared me.
Yeah, that kind of
skeleton. Anyways, but
she's taking a look at him. All right, next one, Brad. Let's keep it rolling here. Now, if you want to do one for the mid or the low back, this is one I just did, Brad. I tweaked my back a couple of weeks ago.
Sure.
And this felt so good. I thought, we got to show this. So I think I'm hitting the kind of the quadratus lumborum. And what you're doing is you're not going directly on the spine. You're going onto the side.
Yep.
So did you try this one or not?
Well, yeah, actually, because I'm a little more sensitive in my mid back because my spondylolisthesis. But if I control my weight bearing through my arm here and my leg here.
Yeah, see, so the pelvis, we're going off the pelvis. We're not, let me show you here.
Show the spine.
So I'm like this. See, I'm not on the pelvis itself. I'm off the pelvis. I'm catching right into this area here.
Yeah.
Probably catching the quadratus lumborum, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, which happens to be a pretty big muscle that controls that low back.
And look what Brad's doing. He's a little bit off, not right onto the side. You're a little bit like 3/4 angle, aren't you? Wouldn't you say, Brad?
Yep. I'd give the pelvis about a 45, 50 degree angle, 51 degrees.
Kind of 45 degrees this way. And I roll, I don't know about you, Brad, right off the pelvis. And that feels really good.
What you're going to do at home is do what feels good. You'll know. You'll know, because right now I can feel when I get that muscle, it just feels like one of those hurt so good pains.
That's exactly what it should be. It should not be hurt. It should be hurt so good.
Yeah, it's like, that feels good when you're done.
All right, next one, Brad. Now we're going to go ahead. This one is a little not as direct, but your hip flexor muscles come up and attach into your pelvis. And if they're tight, which often they are, and a lot of people who sit a lot, they pull the pelvis over like this and they affect the back. So it's going to do this type of thing here. Here's the pelvis. The hip flexor, a tight hip flexor is going to pull it over like that. It's going to kind of put pressure on the back there. So does that make sense to you, Brad? You look confused.
That's all right, Bob. Let's show the stretch.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it later.
Boy, there's something he's not
This
agreeing
feels
with
really
here.
good, by the way. I want to make sure I got the other side because. All right, now let's go to this.
Okay, the hip flexor, you do one at a time, the way I do it. Otherwise, you get the package, and you don't want to get the package, right, Brad? So,
I'm just glad I got one. Okay,
Yeah,
here we go.
so I'm rolling a little bit off onto the side a little bit again here, and this is a great one for hip pain. I mean, this one can really contribute to hip pain if the hip flexor is tight. I'm not going to do this side, Brad, because I have a mic on this side here.
Yeah, that'll
So-
that'll ruin your audibility. Excuse me. I actually like to go over and get my hip abductor with this as well. So you can vary that a little.
So the hip, just as the hip flexor can affect the pelvis and the back, so can the hamstrings. So we want to do the hamstrings
Absolutely.
too. So we're going to go ahead. This is the last one we're going to do on the floor. You're going to go ahead and you can roll them both to start off with. That's usually what I do. And then I go down to one, and you can even cross your leg over, and that really hits that one. And the hamstring, remember, goes all the way up to the pelvis. So roll it all the way up there.
Way up to the buttocks area.
One thing, I'm not going to reveal this right now, Brad. I got a different stretching, some advanced stretching to do for the hamstring.
Oh, you do?
And
You're
it's
going
gonna
to hold
involve-
out on us.
I'm going to hold out. It's going to be a future video. That's why you got to subscribe to us.
Oh, yes.
All right, last one, Brad. We're trying to keep things moving
I'm
here.
sorry, Bob. I just am enjoying this.
This is one Brad probably wouldn't do because you have spondylolisthesis, or however you say it, or
Say it your way.
Spondylolisthesis.
Spondylolisthesis?
Spondylolisthesis.
We'll have an English major
Yeah.
correct this.
So this is just a real simple one you can do. If you want to get into the low back without putting too much stress on it, you can actually get it right around the pelvis here and lean back like this.
Yeah.
It gives a little overpressure to the back. It's gentle,
Yeah.
but you're stretching into extension. It's a nice one to do.
Yeah. If you've got spondylolisthesis or stenosis and you do this and it just hurts,
Right.
and you may not know you have it, but if you do this and it hurts, just don't do it. Skip that one.
Yeah, if you're older than 55, in all seriousness,
Right.
and if you do this one and it hurts, there's a chance you might have spinal
Right.
stenosis or spondylolisthesis.
Right. As you shrink, that can contribute to that stenosis. So people, when they get over 55, typically are starting to shrink.
The discs lose their height and
Yeah.
water and all that.
The aging
So-
process is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
It's-
Well, if as Brad and I always say, if there's wrinkles and gray hair on the outside, there's wrinkles and gray hair on the inside. In a sense, things are wearing down.
Yeah.
So it's just part of life.
It
So-
is. So
Eventually, we'll be dust.
you try to depress our
No,
viewers.
no. But circle of life. Then somebody will eat
Yeah.
us, and then they'll go on to the.
Yeah, exactly,
All
Bob.
right. Thanks.
Oh, wow, man. My back feels so much better. Yeah, the old TARDIS is getting better. She's tuned in very well today. But let's get to the foam rolling and how not to use it and how to use it and some options.
Now, I want to mention that you can use this against the wall if you have a foam roller and can't get to the floor. So just place it on a firm wall. Obviously, you need some wall space and use that. Brad actually has a softer foam roller there.
Yeah, this one's a soft density. There's usually 3 densities, high, medium, and soft. It's up to you. You can actually foam roll the low back on the wall because it doesn't stress near so much as when you're lying on the floor. So that is an option, particularly if you have the lower density foam roller.
Now, some people, I should have had this.
Oh,
set up
look at
beforehand.
that. Get back in here, Mike.
If
We're
you
not
want a
done.
back massage and you don't have a foam roller and you don't want one or you can't get to the floor, you can certainly just use a back massager. And we have a very portable, easy to use one here. You can just put it on a chair. Comes with this nice strap, hook it up on the chair, and then you just plug it in.
Now, the really big advantage to this, I've used many of these and tested probably 15 of these out over the last few years. This one is one of my favorite, and it's why we do sell it. It actually rotates, heats up, and goes up and down, and you can adjust it and hold it where your back feels good. Are you you got it going?
I got it going.
You got to get it going. Look, can you turn the heat is on.
The heat is
All
on,
right.
yes.
I remember that song. Oh, the heat is on. Oh, yeah. Can you bring it down a little bit, Mike? Now, this is a really nice option that it has the cord on it, because I've used the ones that don't. You try to reach back there and you can't get to it. This allows you to see it and work with it very simply. And right now it's at my lumbar spine, where we were talking about with not doing it with the 6-inch roller. This works very well. This is the kind of thing you can work at your workstation. You can put it in a recliner, in a chair in your living room, or in a kitchen chair, and it really works nice.
You can adjust the intensity on it. You can have heat or no heat. You can make it stay in a location by pressing the button I just did. That way it won't go up and down, or you can let it move by changing it.
Yeah, look at that. And it's strapped in right there, elastic strap. You can use that. And it's got a little handle. You can carry it around like a purse.
That is our Easy Back Pro massager. We have other ones that do different things, but this is the Pro model.
There you go.
Yeah, if
Wonderful.
you don't want to get down on the floor and roll around, you can just use a back massager instead. Now, if you're still having some back issues, you can check out the video on screen.
5 best stretches for low back pain in bed. You can do those daily. You can start them before you get out of bed, actually. It's a good way to get the back loosened up.
Bob and Brad, the two most famous physical